When we look at the amount of evidence that has come out via this laptop in the past 2 weeks, it is extraordinary. When we look at the media's response, it is extraordinary. When I watch a sham hearing in which Jack Dorsey has to admit that they took down the posts regarding the New York Post and their obvious investigation into this matter because it was suspected hacked materials, not that the material that itself was wrong, not that the material itself wasn't factual, not that the story did not present truth, but that all of those things, the factual material, the truth, may have been hacked. And that's why they took it down. Yet 2-3 days later, they changed their position because the material was not hacked. And then before and after that revelation twice yesterday, you still had the left or the Democratic side spouting the Johnny nonsense that this was a supposed, or suspected Russian disinformation campaign or a Russian misinformation campaign. And this was a witch hunt on big tech. Even after he admitted it wasn't hacked materials. Now, number one, it's disturbing that you could have real information and we're just going to censor it anyway because it's hacked. That's our policy. Bullshit. 5 times over. Okay. And remember, Facebook basically did limited distribution under the same guise. Now, when they were asked whether there was any evidence that this information was provided in any way by Russia or connected any way in Russia, they both had to say no. And still, that is the talking point. It is shameful, it is disturbing, it is disgusting. And now we're going even a step further than a mainstream journalist laughing in the face of Trump, thinking it's hilarious. No, there's no scandal. No. Beyond that, it's admitted there's no evidence of it, and you still spout it off while defending big tech and calling for more censorship. And if you watched my video last night, you know that the right wing wasn't much better. They were calling for more censorship. They wanted more censorship via Zionism, via Holocaust denial. Okay, they wanted more censorship via China accusing the United States of using a bioweapon via COVID-1984. They want more censorship everywhere. More. It wasn't less. More. Okay? So I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I went over it slightly, okay, yesterday during the AMA last night. Breaking exclusive Hunter Biden pictures of himself disrobed and exposed with a certain minor. Joe Biden is lying. Now, these have the text messages that this is the minor behind him. This is his Johnny Wang dangle sitting there underneath. This is Joe, and we played this yesterday, that there is no controversy about his son. Watch.
Okay, Mr. Biden, if I can.
Sure.
Questions of controversy continue to tell you about Hunter Biden, your son's...
There is no controversy about my son. It's all a lie. It's a flat lie because the president has nothing else to run on. If you notice, while American people are talking about what's happening to their families, he has no plan. In the debate, he has no plan. Everything from the Wall Street Journal, every other major news outlet has said what he's saying is simply not true about my son. But it's classic Trump. And because he doesn't want to talk about how manufacturing has gone into recession, how our economy's in a hole, how we're approaching a bleak winter.
So again, I don't want to play the rest of it because it's such trash, but he just denies it. He says, well, the Wall Street Journal says it's not true. And just every other publication, they just say it's not true. So, these pictures we're about to see of text messages do not seem to be doctored. Okay, it is him talking about an inappropriate relationship with his niece, who is 14 years old. These are all real, and they just say it's not real. It's not real. Wall Street Journal says it's not real. 60 Minutes says it's not real. Yeah, but No one said any of this material is forged. They always try to say unconfirmed or unvalidated. What? Huh? And by the way, we're going to get in to the fact that maybe some disinformation has now been planted. Remember we talked about in the very beginning, Dan Rather, basically getting set up on George Bush's military records, running a story, and then just being eviscerated in the media. That may have happened to Tucker Carlson. We're going to show you that next because I think it's important to go over. All right. So take a look. Okay. There it is. This is a young girl. This is his niece. In no way, shape, or form should A, this picture exist, but B, should this man be in that attire around his niece ever? A lot of people who watch this know that I have an 11 and a 9-year-old that live with me. Never. And I mean, look at that psychopath. He should be in prison. All right? But no, according to Joe, as you're going to see on Oprah, he's the smartest guy he knows. According to Joe Biden. Good old crack smoking, meth pipe having Hunter Biden. And this isn't even the scandal with, and this looks like that 14-year-old girl's right next to him again. This isn't even the scandal of the kickbacks of China, of the Ukraine. And they'll just tell you that doesn't exist. Who knows? Maybe this gets taken down for harmful content if I repost it, in Big Tech Valley. And I'm no huge fan of the Gateway Pundit, but these are obviously real. It's real. Okay? And Tucker Carlson, we're going to read some of this. Tucker Carlson reveals new trove of documents implicating Joe Biden in shady deals has gone missing from the Courier Company, as recording reveals Hunter's 2 business partners were concerned their secrets would blow up big time. And of course, we have the Tony Bobulinski interview. Apparently, there's a 20-minute version on Fox News, but there's a longer version somewhere else. I've yet to watch it. Okay? But obviously, there's a ton of documentation this corruption was going on. But here, let's just read it, okay? Because it's really important. This could be a setup. Tucker Carlson has claimed that a dossier of documents allegedly implicating Joe Biden in his son Hunter's shady business deals went missing in the Post, somewhere between Manhattan and Los Angeles. So is there a cleanup crew involved here? I don't know. Carlson detailed the mystery of the vanishing documents during his Wednesday evening show on Fox News, where he also aired new audio of Hunter Biden's business partners sharing concerns that their secrets would blow up big time. The host said his team had sent documents via an established courier from his main studio in Manhattan on Monday to Los Angeles. At 3:44 a.m. on Tuesday, someone in the Courier Company noticed that it had been opened and its contents were removed. It's very bizarre. Carlson said no one was able to explain where the documents allegedly damaging to the Bidens had gone. He did not say whether Fox News had any copies. He offered no details about what the documents described, merely said they were confidential documents related to the Biden camp that came from a source. We believe they are authentic, and at the time we received them, my executive producer and I were in Los Angeles talking to Tony Bobulinski, referring to Hunter Biden's business partner. So we texted a producer in New York and asked him to send us those documents to L.A. Monday afternoon this week, he shipped the documents overnight to California with a large national carrier, a brand name company that you've used countless times. So is it FedEx? Is it UPS? It's probably one or the other, right? But the Biden documents never arrived in Los Angeles. That's nuts. Carlson said that on Tuesday. You got to understand that Tucker Carlson is totally 100% wiretapped and surveilled. And a lot of these mainstream media Muppets are. He happens to be the one that's going against the grain the most on television. But he's 100% surveilled, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Can you imagine, what the FBI does to surveil this guy and how much they would love to have some real dirt on Tucker Carlson? Again, I was never a big fan of Tucker. Especially in his MSNBC days, in his smug bow tie days. But you give credit where credit is due, period. Okay? So, the documents disappeared. So you got to wonder, were they real? Were they not real? Were they a mix of real and not real? Were they taken because they were real? And there were concerns that Tucker Carlson would start breaking some of these stories, and it would get a lot more than just the Gateway Pundit. Now, no fan of Piers Morgan. And this is one of the things that I needed to really say. Because again, look at this headline. Twitter let Iran spew Holocaust-denying lies, yet blocked a New York newspaper in the world's second biggest Jewish community from tweeting a reply because it dared probe Hunter Biden. It's a shameful scandal that should outrage every American. But you see how it's worded. You see how it's framed. It's framed for more censorship, more censorship, more censorship. And the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei was brought up during the Senate committee hearing. Okay? And it's ridiculous. We don't need more restrictions on speech. We need to acknowledge that the restrictions on speech right now are over the top, that these companies are not acting as, platforms, but they are acting as editors, publishers, and aggregators of information and selectively enforcing what can and cannot be said via their platforms. Meanwhile, having complete protection via Section 230. And yet, again, when you see how this is framed, and I'm no friend to Piers Morgan, it's still about what? More censorship. More censorship. So, just to show everybody that doubts me that Oprah Winfrey is not a good person, okay? Let me just say this again. Oprah Winfrey, not a good person, period. She's not great. I know she's part of the good guys club, Jason. They put her face on Wonder Woman. The Flash was there. Warren Buffett, Ted Turner, Bloomberg, Gates, Soros, all of them. They're the good guys club, right? Hunter's the smartest guy I know. Biden praises his son to Oprah as she refuses to ask him one single question about the laptop scandal and his involvement in China business during campaign trail love-in. I mean, again, this shows how valid the media is. Shows how valid icons like Oprah are. Here he is. Here's Biden. Let's play a little bit of this. Is there no sound on this thing? Either that or the sound is just extremely low on that. Yeah, I'm not getting anything. You can barely hear it. Sorry, guys. We're just going to have to skip over that. But yes, Joe Biden says that his son is the smartest person he knows. It's ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous. It shows what a state of affairs we really are in this country, in the world, that a nation can be gaslit to the extent it has on this scandal during an election year. No, there's no scandal, 60 Minutes says. Oprah doesn't ask. She lets him say that Hunter Biden is the smartest person that he knows. Again, can you imagine if Don Jr. or Eric was having a sexual relationship with their 14-year-old niece and discussing it with Trump, with Donnie Boy, in leaked text messages or emails? That would be the end, because his base would not stand for that. I mean, it's just mind-blowing. It's crazy.